that.
You're not on here at all.
I am on there.
There you go. So now you're going to have a nice...
Hear me? Just 6 minutes in and we finally figured out how to get you onto the video. Wow.
No, it's your
That's
piece
a
of
record.
shit software that I suggested.
It's not mine. Yeah, you are the one that recommended it.
What the fuck?
Are you ready? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
But I don't have...
Are you ready? Are you dilly-dallying? What are you doing?
I don't know this thing. I mean, I don't like this as much.
Okay, well, will you live?
I don't know.
Okay. Good. It's always good to stay curious about some things. Not know the answer to some things. No, oh my god, you just left the room.
Yes! Yes! I got a chair.
Well,
I don't know. I was trying to get centered, but maybe I raised the desk up and stand.
okay.
I'm as high, that's as high as I can go.
Okay.
But I can't hear you.
You can't hear me, or you can't hear me very well?
You turn the volume up.
That's a start.
Let me turn it fucking back down.
Yes, be closer to the camera. Yeah, that's what you were doing. That's what you were doing. Good lord, get your glasses or something. No one wants to see that.
Why am I
So, where are you calling in from this week?
Why is your color so much better than my color?
I don't know. Maybe because you're just a washed out old man.
It could be. How about that? Nope, that looks terrible.
Are you using your ring light?
Way up here. I had my phone
Well, maybe
around.
move it.
Let me change it. Let me rearrange all my shit because of you.
No, it's because you couldn't figure out how to get your phone to work. So, it looks like you're calling in from like a submarine. Like, everything is of a similar hue.
I know. I don't know why. That was what happened last time. The problem is I'm old. That doesn't help me any.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. My little ring light last time went out. It ran out of juice.
Oh no.
I'm sure that made a difference.
Yeah, definitely did. That's kind of far away. You're just ahead. There you go. So where are you calling in from today?
The submarine.
The submarine. Yes. And how is the trip on the submarine?
There's a couple people on this ship that I'd like to throw over or out the door.
Who, Bob?
No, you.
I'm not in the submarine.
That's a problem.
That's why my lighting is better than yours. It looks like you were viciously attacked on the side of your face.
I
there.
know. I don't know what. I think one was an ingrown hair, and Gina pulled one out, and then this one showed up. That was this one the other day. Then this one showed up today. This old shit's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's like going through puberty again, but with none of the perks.
Kids just suck the life out of you. That's the real problem.
And who was the one that elected to have them?
You know, I don't know. I elected to do something else, and then this happened.
And what was the something else?
I'm not telling you that.
Because you don't have that. It's not even in your diary. Which I feel like if you did have a diary, it would just be full of one word. And it not the same word. It'd be like your diary entry for the day, one word. Next diary entry, one word.
I just need something to help me remind myself. I don't need to write an essay. It's all it is for me to. I used to keep.
Well,
a
unless
diary
you want to
at
get
work.
it published.
I used to keep a diary
did?
at work.
Of just the stuff that you did?
Yeah, I had when we moved from Fort Wayne to, I guess, Alliance. I must have had 15 years of diaries.
Of just stuff you did at work?
Yep.
Or like how you felt and your feelings and stuff?
Yeah, no, I don't put that shit down.
Healthy.
Yeah. I'm okay.
And how many times were you requested to go to like an anger management course?
Plead the fifth.
Okay. I finally finished Suits, Milo and I did. Yeah.
It got very repetitive.
It got very repetitive, and the last episode, they're like, all right, we're wrapping this up. All loose ends must be tied.
Yeah.
And so, like, everything happened in the span of 20 minutes.
Well, she left. She left to go screw up another family.
No. Meghan Markle?
Yeah. That show died
No, it
because
didn't
she
end.
left. It died because she left. It tried to go
It
on.
died because... It died because Mike left.
After she
Which
left.
they left at the exact same time. Mike got out of jail. Spoiler alert. Mike got out of jail, and then he spent one season out of jail. And then I Googled it. He had an addiction to alcohol issue and decided to step away from the show at the same time that Meghan Markle left. And so they both elected to move to
Idaho.
Seattle.
Oh.
Nope.
I
not
thought it was
Idaho.
Idaho.
Nope, not that time. Not this time. So what have you been doing on the submarine? Sitting around, doing nothing? What is retirement looking like nowadays?
This week, not that exciting. Although we had snow.
Did you build a snowman?
No, we didn't have that much snow. Would have been it was more icy.
Oh.
That was the excitement of the week.
Wow. Anything else?
No, we're starting our planning to go to Alaska.
Okay, what does that look like?
Somewhere, I don't know, 3 to 4 months. It's 70.
Your trip to Alaska?
Yeah, it's 70 hours of just pure driving to
That
get to
sounds
Anchorage.
terrible.
So I mean, that's if you just did 8-hour days, that's almost 2 weeks of driving just to get there. So there's a month to get there and come back.
Yeah.
But
Good
there's a whole
Lord.
bunch of you got to and really to you're kind of trying to get there to watch some animals. So you need to be there when to go on whale watching cruises when the orcas and the whales are all out moving back and forth. You need to get there when the salmon's running so you can see the grizzly bear or the grizzly bears.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that.
How much can you really plan for of that anymore with like climate change? And not really knowing when things are actually going to be happening.
I think the animals are still pretty active. It doesn't change
but
that much from year to year. Maybe decade to decade, but year to year probably doesn't change that much.
Maybe.
So there's 8 national parks in Alaska. You've been to 2.
Denali and Glacier Bay.
There you go.
What are the other 6?
I'd have to look them up, but there's
Are they all relatively in the same area, or are you driving around the entire state?
The gates of the Arctic is way up almost towards Prudhoe Bay. There is there's nothing. You can't drive to it. The only way to get in there is you have to fly and get dropped off. Yeah, like it's 5 miles from the Prudhoe Bay Highway. The closest spot is 5 mile hike, and it's not like an easy. It's just that's the closest spot is 5 miles. It's not like there's a hike to go there. Yeah.
Good God.
Yeah. I don't know how many acres it is. It's huge. And then there's one down lower that we will go to. That's I don't want that. That's it's got an old copper mine, I think. Either copper or copper mine that. You got to drive down this 60-mile dirt road that's that is very terrible. Let's see. That's the Wrangell St. Ellis National Preserve.
Sounds made up. That actually sounds made up. So.
Oh, there's a national preserve and a national park. Well, that thing's huge. Most of Alaska, it almost seems like a lot of Alaska is a national park.
Yeah, I can't say that
And you can't
it
drive,
would really make
and you can't drive to a lot of it.
So how are you going to get... You're just going to park the van somewhere and just...
That was kind of the problem with Bob. You got to fly to the Katmai National Park is where it's like the highest concentration of grizzly bears in the world.
Oh.
They've got if you go on their website and see their you can camp in a tent. The campground is inside a chain link fence with razor wire.
Yeah, I would not want to camp any other way, to be honest.
Yes. Then they have some buildings, and then they've got little platforms that you can. The classic picture of the bear at the top of the little waterfall with his mouth open and the salmon jumping. That's probably taken from there. They've got
So how close do they recommend you to get to these grizzly bears? I feel like if you can
you see fishermen down the road and the bears are going into in the water are getting into their fishing stuff. Their little bag and stuff they have on the thing. Yeah, the bears will go through that looking for stuff. Yeah, you're kind of there. Yeah, you're kind of there.
I am there?
No, I mean you're right there with the animals.
Oh, yeah. Well, that might be a little, I don't know. It's one thing to see it while you're awake and you're alert, and it's another thing to wake up to a bear sniffing your tent in the middle of the night. Like, that is horrifying. That is not something that I would like to take part in. Yeah.
Well, if you
I
sleep
went
well.
camping.
If you sleep party, you won't know.
I went camping for the first time earlier this summer, or earlier in 2024, I guess. And I was haunted because I was on the ranch and we went off the ranch, not that far, but there's like BLM land right off the ranch road. We camped next to like a river, and it was what most people would consider to be secluded. But people from the ranch found where we were, so came and messed with our tent. And so I've been petrified ever since that. And then we went camping in Colorado, somewhere outside of Colorado Springs, maybe. And it was just, you had to go up like a 4-wheel drive trail. And I went up in my Kia Forte.
It's 4 wheels.
And it has 4 wheels, yep. And
Hasn't let you down yet.
has not yet. And there were just like the fire or the park ranger had told Milo like that there had been a lot of bear sightings in the area, and he was like, "Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's just brown bears." I'm like, "Oh, so we're fine with brown bears, but if it's a grizzly bear, that's where we have an issue." I forget what the saying is. It's like, if it's brown, lay down. If it's black, fight back. If it's a grizzly, you're dead. Something like
I
that.
think it's probably something close to that, yeah.
Yeah, I said that.
If it's brown, stay down, and
Yeah.
if it's white, good night.
White is good night. But I don't. When are you going to run into a polar bear? I'm unsure.
Alaska, up at Prudhoe Bay.
Oh, well,
Or
good
maybe,
night!
or maybe on the Dempster Highway. Dalton Highway? Dalton.
The Dalton Highway. Yeah, so that's exciting. That's only 5 months away. So what? You only have how many days? Almost half the year to get to that point?
We're almost through. We're halfway through January. So you got February, March, April, and leaving in May.
So what is that? 4 months?
Yeah, a little less.
A little less. Well, I'm leaving Colorado, or not Colorado. I'm leaving this apartment in May.
Are you?
Yep. And I'm going to find a place that allows me to have a cat. So, if you want, I can watch Bob.
Ah,
But if you don't want, then I'm just going to get my own cat.
I see.
Yep. Yep. Pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm also kind of hesitant to get my own cat because I've been really on this new career aspiration path, or just life aspiration path, that I would like to get my master's in Europe. And I've recently
You don't have cats in Europe?
There's this girl that I met who, she's also a mechanical engineer, and she's getting her master's right now, and she's going to get her PhD in London, and she has a cat. And she said that the process to get a cat over into the EU is like an 8-month quarantine period for your cat or your pet. And a lot of them get so stressed out during the process that they just die. And you're not with your pet when they die. You just get like a notification that your pet died. And I don't want to deal with that. Like, that sounds terrible. So that's my hesitancy in getting a cat. But that also puts a lot of eggs in one basket of me going to get my master's in Europe.
So what are you getting a degree in? A master's in what?
Entrepreneurship.
That seems like something you just go out and do.
So that's exactly what Milo said when I came home when I told him this. But the thing is, I have worked at venture funds. I have worked at a startup. And I have never been with a group of entirely entrepreneurial people that want to build their own business. Whereas I feel like if I'm getting my master's, if I'm getting my master's
You need to get it. You
doing
just
a
need to go to
program,
business. You just need to get a master's in business.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to get a master's in business.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I've never been around a group of people that are entirely entrepreneurial that want to start their own business as badly as I do. But the thing is, it's like, I don't know what my business that I want to start is. And that doesn't seem to be a problem because I'm listening to the How I Built This for Bombas, the sock brand. And they said that they didn't.
Is he doing new stuff? Or, I mean, I haven't listened to that podcast in a couple of years. Is that new or is that old?
Guy Raz is having new people on. He's also having founders on to do like question and answers, which I don't particularly love. It sounds to me like these people that are coming on to ask for advice are like using it like a Shark Tank approach of just coming on to talk about their product or whatever they're selling or whatever they've made, which like good for them, but it's not as interesting to listen to as like the entire startup process and like hearing their story. I listened to the Raising Cane's one. That one was interesting. Chicken. Yeah. And I didn't realize that they still only sell chicken. They don't have burgers or salads or anything. They just have chicken.
Did that open in Canton at the end? What was that? What was that place? Was that it?
Yeah, it did.
That was the chicken place. It looked like kind of reminiscent of Texas Roadhouse vibe inside, but it was chicken. No.
I don't, because I think that Raising Cane's went to Canton as soon as we left, so I don't think you ever experienced it.
I was thinking there was something there there was a chicken. There was something that we used to go and get wings.
The Winking Lizard?
No.
The Winking Lizard.
That's in South Carolina, you goof.
The Winking Lizard was also in Ohio.
No, Lizard Stick-It is the South Carolina one. Lizard Stick-It.
Yeah. So I think the thing that you're thinking of, because the only other atmosphere that reminded me of Texas Roadhouse was Winking Lizard, because they also gave you peanuts at the door.
Nope.
That was the one that was in Washington Square.
Nope, not it. It was Raising.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, and no, it's not.
What was it?
That one was, it'll come to me, but no, that was not. It was like, it wasn't Zaxby's.
No.
I'll remember it, but I can't think of it right now.
What a tie-in to the next podcast. How exciting.
You're welcome. Yeah, so that's getting on to Raising Cane's and where we went to eat chicken wings. Yeah, I'm thinking of doing a master's program in Europe. The tuition per year, do you want to guess how much it is?
No, how much is it?
Guess.
$5.78 a day.
I don't know what that comes out to. What did you say? $5.78? I don't think it's gonna quite cut it. No, not quite. That's only $2,000, a little more than $2,000 a year. It's only like 10 grand.
I wasn't up by much.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So it's pretty reasonable in terms of schooling goes.
You're gonna go do it in Paris, in France, so you can use your French?
I don't think I want to do it in Paris. I was talking to Mom, and I was thinking Chamonix, which is like a ski town. It's a little more rural, less city.
And they have a university there? Or a uni?
I'm sure they do.
You're sure?
A uni?
A uni?
I'm sure they do. They had a really... So the problem is that I searched best master's programs for entrepreneurship in Europe, and it's like I don't even know if this is like a real school. Like
that's not a real. That is just something that they're waiting. Throw me money. Just throw me money.
That's what I'm.
That's why I go get a business degree.
Okay.
You will learn all that other shit. Listen to Prof G Market.
Prof G Market.
Yep.
That's that bald guy, right?
Yep.
What does he say?
He got his degree from Stanford?
Babson.
Stanford?
Oh, okay.
And then he started making companies. That's all I don't think he's ever, well, no, he worked for one of the big financial firms in New York for a bit. and then started his own company. He's done pretty well. The podcasting is doing very well for him with the him and what's that other one? Kara Swisher. Pivot. They're on the liberal side of things.
Noted. But yeah, so we'll stay tuned on that. We'll see where the application process gets me. I just need to look at schools because there's not many French-speaking countries in Europe. Really, just Belgium and France.
There you go. You could go to
Really
England.
narrows down my options.
You could go to
I could do that.
Oxford.
I could do that. I might as well. Might as well just apply. If I get into Oxford, will you just pay the tuition?
I as everything I've ever done, I'll split it with your mom.
Perfect. Great. That sounds great.
I lied.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Has she?
Yeah. What?
No. Not for here.
Anyways. Yep, so that's been my new endeavor.
Work is exciting?
As always. Yep. I've been trying to do more on the influencing front.
Yes.
It would be great if you could be more of service to me in this regard of filming some content.
You know, the problem with all of this for me, you know what I see when I see a white sheet of paper?
Nothing.
Just a white fucking sheet of paper. I don't see nothing on it. Nothing.
That is not true.
It-
Because you always watch a video and you're like, well, if I were to do that, I would have done this, this, and this.
Yeah, but I can't. I can't even remotely. When we're out driving around and doing stuff. I don't. That is so far from the front of my thought process to film something, and I don't want any part of that editing.
Hey, well, the great news is there's really popular creators out there right now that are your demographic, your age group, and they don't know how to edit stuff, and my generation thinks it's hilarious, and so we watch and we subscribe because we think that it's so funny. Specifically, there's this woman that's, I don't know, probably in her late 60s, and she, you know how like when you're editing a video you can put text in and it'll have a text box and it'll say enter text. She'll just leave that in the video and it just says enter text. And it's funny because it's authentic.
I see.
Yeah, so you don't really have to be good at it. I also saw another
Can't even get the lighting right here.
No, you can't. Which she also like takes really blurry photos.
Maybe that's
And
what I
just
just need
adds
to do. Maybe I need to figure out how to get the younger filter on here. Get rid of the bags.
Yes.
Make the little gray go away.
Or you could just try that beard dye again. That worked so well the first
It
time.
really did, though. It really did.
I look back on pictures of it and think that it looks terrible.
It was so fun. But that one time, you see, this is where you have to have the pictures and put them up there. Because that one picture that looks like someone photoshopped it, like with a very heavy black marker, and then it dried and it looked the gray, that, and then the darker gray would be pretty funny I can send you those pictures. You probably
See, and now you're saying that you don't have any creative, like, you know.
You know
what people want to see.
My shoulders hurt so much from carrying your ass this whole life. Could you not do something?
I'm trying, but I need to exploit you. That's the whole sole
I see.
purpose.
So wait a minute. So you sent me that picture of the guy with the what was that? A muskrat?
It was a gingham shirt.
Huh?
And it was like a muskrat.
A muskrat?
No, it wasn't a muskrat.
Or a
it was like a ferret-looking thing. A prairie dog.
Prairie dog.
Yep.
So you just want me to be your prairie dog.
Yes, exactly.
I see.
When I say, do a little dance, monkey, you just do it. Yeah.
So you and Nico weren't around, but your mother and I and David as a baby in a carrier.
You and Nico weren't around. We weren't born yet?
Nope, you were not. We went to Memphis and went to the Elvis Presley mansion. And
Okay.
if I remember right, you had to park on one side, and then you took a bus up to the mansion and did the mansion. And as we were coming back down, and we got up to leave, somebody goes, "Oh, you guys are all dressed alike." I'm like, motherfucker. I had to go find a window. We weren't dressed alike, but we were all matching.
That's called color coordination.
That was the last time she packed for me.
I'm sure it wasn't, but okay.
Oh, no, yeah, it was.
Yeah, I've now fallen into your dress wear routines. If it's not on the top of the pile, I'm not wearing it. So I've been finding myself wearing the same sweater that you also conveniently have a lot.
Well, I had it first. Oh, my God.
I'm not going to disagree with that. I also just watched this long form video about how the quality of clothing has gotten progressively worse
Well, you had
over the
that.
years.
What is that? What is that? What's the new clothing thing now? The stores.
Fast fashion?
Yes, fast fashion.
Yeah. So I was
It's only $1.50
watching the video.
for a shirt.
Yeah. But I was watching the video and they were saying that clothing stores only put out for a season. Like you would get 7 items and it would be like their summer catalog. And then as soon as summer was over, they would discount everything they didn't sell what was ever left, and then come out with their fall collection. And then all of a sudden, they wanted to start being more inclusive and selling more clothes, so started putting like polyester in a lot of clothes so that they would have more stretch and that they would fit more people so that they could sell more clothes. And it also, in turn, made it cheaper. And so they were able to produce different SKUs at a higher rate
Well, they
because
also
they were saving money.
the as soon as you went to the non-real fabric, it got cheaper. You started.
Isn't that polyester?
Yeah, but that's all the
Yeah. Yeah. And it just is crazy because the statistic I was seeing was that clothes are 20% cheaper. We're buying 80% more.
Well, that's also part of the
Consumerism.
well, consumerism, but also this whole influencing thing that everybody has to, oh, look, squirrel. Oh, okay, let's get that. Let's get that. Look how many shoes you have.
I've gotten rid of so many clothes. I've gotten rid of so many shoes. But the thing is shoes are one of the only things that I buy new anymore.
Work boots and sneakers.
Okay.
And my Sperry's. That's about it. That's all I got. That's it.
But I also haven't bought anything new besides for when I went to the ranch and I had to buy that stuff, but I even bought it used. Like I didn't buy brand new boots.
You bought brand new boots, brand new ribbons the other day. Yeah.
Yeah, I did do that.
Yeah.
But I feel like shoes are a justifiable thing to buy brand new because you wear them down.
No, I get that.
Whereas if you
buy a new pair of
clothing-
Levi's, if you buy a new pair of Levi jeans, you could wear them for quite a few years.
Yeah. Well, I still have the Levi jeans that you bought me when I was in college.
You still have my Levi jeans that you've taken from me that I wore.
That's true. But the thing is, I don't buy brand new clothes.
That's the other picture you should just have with you of wearing me.
That's true. Yeah, it's true. But I don't like buying brand new clothes. Number one, they're not nice. They normally break or rip or don't function the way that you want them to. And number two, we have enough clothes in existence to clothe the next 6 generations of humans. Like that, to me, that statistic is insane.
Do you remember on the same thing? You remember our dining room table?
Yep.
That was probably close to man. I bet you that had to have been 50 or 60 years old or older.
And the crazy thing is like you can go to a resale shop.
But that was not a nice piece of furniture.
No.
It
was because it lasted that long.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it was the low grade. It wasn't. It's just interesting. It's disposable.
But now that low grade is still better than like one of the high grades that you would buy nowadays.
Well,
like if you go to West Elm, you're paying an arm and a leg. That stuff is actually pretty good, but the majority of the time, like half their SKUs are coming from the same place that IKEA gets their shit. And there's no craftsmanship anymore.
well, it's because
There's nothing.
people don't want to pay for that. They don't want quality. They don't want to pay for quality. They want to pay for quantity.
Exactly. But the thing is, you can go to a resale store or like even a vintage store and buy a nice wooden table, sand it down, restain it.
Wait. What's the problem there?
You're asking people to do what?
They don't even want to go to the office anymore.
It's true, but I have become so tired. I got in such a bad anxiety spiral the other day because I was on social media trying to figure out like what I need to be posting, and it's the constant flux of you need to post way more and post all the time, or you need to only post certain specific content that you've curated and worked super hard. Like, okay, whatever. And then once you get past that, like you've scrolled past enough, they're like, okay, well, clearly you don't want to do that. So why don't you try digital design sales? And then they try selling you on that. And like, just sell this digital template on Etsy and you'll make $2,000 a month. And it's just like, what the fuck? I don't even want to do that. Why is this showing up?
Yeah.
And then you get videos about, oh, all of your products in your kitchen have Teflon in it and you're dying from it.
Black
and then
you've seen the one for the black spatulas?
yeah.
You're supposed to throw those all out because they have fire retardant supposedly in them.
Yeah. It's just like everything that you do, everything that you've already consumed, you need to get rid of.
Yep.
It's terrible for you.
Yep.
And it's so annoying and it's so because I don't want like it, I also like hate being sold to. I hate it. Like I went to Costco the other day to go get a membership.
I have done a good job raising you. The anxiety I don't get the anxiety shit at all. But the rest of it,
I hate being sold to. And it's even like when I am going to a place to buy something, I know what I want to buy. I researched it. I know what I'm buying before I get there. And I go to the Costco membership guy, and he's like, well, you should definitely upgrade because you need to, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, I don't want, and they just keep trying to sell it to you. I'm like, no. And you're about to make me not even want to buy the thing that I came in here to buy. Just let me buy it and leave.
You got to be careful. You got to be careful, though. I agree with your sentiment, but occasionally you do need to listen to people because they give you a different idea. Don't necessarily have to buy, but listen to them. But I do agree with you. I hate salesmen.
And I do agree with you because I do think that he brought up some valid points where I was questioning, like, maybe I should consider that. But then at the same time, I'm like, well, I'm not coming here for all of my groceries. I'm not going to spend $4,000 a month at Costco. Like, I'm not. Like, it's not.
You know where Costco makes their money at?
Selling cars or something? Selling their memberships.
The membership. It's just like Planet Fitness. That's where they make their money. Selling the memberships.
Yeah.
Hoping you don't pay attention and don't show up. That's their goal.
Yep. And I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Because going there gives me anxiety. I'm like, holy consumerism. Like, that shit is insane. You walk in there.
Well, maybe you should move to Alaska. Because they probably don't have a lot of stores.
The more I watched this video the other day, and it was like this girl sitting on a mountain eating a granola bar by herself, and the video caption was like, when you've protected your peace so much that you're alone on a ski slope eating a frozen granola bar. And I had just gotten home from skiing by myself where I had paid $10 because I had no one to carpool with. And
you said that. Where's the carpool? Where you park?
So,
or where you're...
So the ski mountain that I went to this time, I went because I wanted to save money and save time, and money being the gas to and from the mountain, and time because I thought that it was going to be quicker to get to because it was the signage appeared before the place that I normally go, Winter Park. Eldora is the name of the mountain that I went on, or the resort, I should say. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to go to Eldora because it's smaller and I'm only going to do like a couple hours worth of runs, and then I'm going to come back by lunchtime. And it'll only take me like 30 minutes to get there and 30 minutes to get home, and that'll be fine. I get there, the guy looks in my car like this, like he's directing traffic of where to go, looks in my car like this, and I was like, 1? And so I was like, oh, cool, I'm getting like a fast pass, like singles lane, you know, when you're getting on the lift. I'm like, cool, great, like I'll just get over here. I go up, there's like a booth. I'm like, oh, you have to get a ticket to park here? And then I see people getting their credit cards out, sign on the window, $10 for parking, please carpool next time. And I'm like, do you think if I had friends, I would ask them to go skiing? Because I would, I just don't have them. So, what do you want from me? I think that if you have like an
Is that where the anxiety comes from? No friends?
No, I've never been more at peace with my life right now. To be honest. There's a good scene in Seinfeld where Jerry meets this guy that he thinks is like really cool and great, and the guy wants to become friends with him, so asks him to like hang out a bunch. Jerry does it for a little while, and then he's like, no, I have 3 friends, that's it, I don't need any more. And it's true. I have my 3 friends, and I don't need any more, and I'm good. I'm set.
I hope nobody moves out.
Yeah, that's what I've held on to them for this long, so I don't think they're going anywhere. And they're far enough away and in different states and time zones that I can pretty much call, and someone will pick up because it's 5 o'clock somewhere, you know?
There you go.
That is the crazy thing. My friend group, none of us are in the same time zone, which is crazy. There's only 5 of us. There's only 4 of us.
I was going to say, 2 of my 3 children are not in the same time zone.
Nico and I aren't in the same time zone. None of your 3 children are in the same time.
As me.
David's on East.
As me.
Oh. Yes. Yeah, so, no, I don't like Costco, and the more that I think about it, I always thought I wanted to live in a city, and I always thought that I wanted to be surrounded by people. I, come to find out, don't really like people that much. Don't really want to be around people that much. So
as an entrepreneur,
yeah.
what are you is it gonna be an animal related thing?
No, so the thing is, I don't like people, but I love humanity. I really enjoy that aspect.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
I appreciate that there are people in this world. I don't want to be near them, but I appreciate that they're here.
You appreciate that there's people in this world that just don't fucking talk to you.
Mm-hmm. And that get on without me. Yeah.
The idea of entrepreneurship is that you need those people to want you to do something for them.
That's not part of the thing. I just don't want anything to do with being involved with them. They want to be involved with me.
But you have to be involved with them so they will get involved with you to get their shit. I'm not sure there's... explain to me a job where explain to me a job that you don't interact with people.
It's not that
Mars. Elon Musk, you going with him?
No, I'm good. The thing is I enjoy a select amount of people. I want to be close to that number of people. If I want to experience other people, I will go to a place where there's other people. So if I want to visit the city and be near people, like I have that ability to do that. It's just not my homeostasis to be around people all the time.
Is Milo listening to you?
Uh-huh.
I can't say. Yeah. I'm right there with you though.
It's just the more people that I talk to, the more that I just want to be alone. Yeah, I just especially when I'm at the airport, I'm like, this is the worst of human existence at the airport. Everyone is the worst version of themselves for whatever reason, walking around barefoot in the airport. I remember vividly during COVID, I was flying. This was like back when you keep your 6 feet and you wore a mask. This guy would like pull his mask down to pick his nose and then put his mask back up.
Did you want him to put a nose hole in it?
It's just like, I get it, dude. Like, pick your nose, but maybe like do it in a way that's like less disgusting. Like, go to the bathroom and just like take your mask down and like blow that thing. 'Cause
you could have just blown it in the mask and then got rid of the mask.
I wish he would have done that, but it was like pull down, pick, pull it back up. Just leave it down at that point. Pull it back down, pick. Like, you're creating way more work for yourself. I don't know. It's just like, my former CEO, he said something to me that I thought was really jarring at first. And it was like, I hate inefficiency. And I was like, that's really like aggressive. And then I thought about it a lot. And I was like, he's onto something. I also agree with that. Like, why spend time not being efficient? You know? Yeah.
So then pulling the mask down and putting it back up, that is adding to the inefficiency of nose picking.
It is so, like, dude, give it a rest. Give it up. Blow that thing, pull that thing down, and just pick at it.
Maybe he wasn't really picking his nose. He was just trying to clog it because you were you sitting next to him?
No, he was like sitting across from me. So it was like in my line of sight. He had no shame of it.
Well, no, I just, you tend to be kind of gassy. So I didn't know maybe he was trying to just like.
For whatever reason, the last time that I recall being gassy on an airplane was to Alaska, and it was with Nico. And it was when we were sitting next to a man who Nico thought might have been a threat to his life, but we were sitting next to a man, and he did not want to put up with our antics. And
who does? Does anybody want to put up with yours and Nicholas's antics?
No, probably not.
When you are together, but it is hard to explain that dynamic.
Yes. But he was farting, and my breath stunk. And so he would fart. I would try and fall asleep. I would smell it. And then he would try and fall asleep, and I would go and blow in his face.
Wasn't this guy sitting in between you?
No, he was sitting on the aisle seat. And then I started getting gassy, and they reeked. And so then we were farting back and forth, and both of our breaths really stunk. And then the guy fell asleep with his shirt over his nose.
That's another good picture, that Skagway picture.
What's this? The one of James flicking off the camera?
No, the one where we're on the train, and our whole side is our family. Mom and Dad are in the front, and then I don't know who's back, and we're all laughing and giggling, and the whole other side is a bunch of blue hairs, and they're just all looking over at us. That was a great trip. That was a great trip.
That was a good trip.
And then on the flight, on David's flight home, he was sitting with these people, and they were just shooting shit back and forth. And he goes, "Yeah, we were in Alaska." They said, "Yeah, we know." It had to have been on the cruise and the train. Yeah, we know. I was just up there with my family. Yeah, we know.
See, and that's also why, like, it's just better to be alone. Like, don't have to put anyone through that, you know?
That was hysterical.
Yeah, so next family trip, get the James and Ashley herd.
James actually...
Small children?
James actually was asking the other night about taking another family trip.
To where?
I don't know.
He's going to suggest something like the Gulf Shores or something.
Well, he will have 2 kids this summer.
And that's his own choice.
Yes.
So,
I guess
I'm saying...
I just all of a sudden is this picture of you sitting next to Ashley, and then right next to it was the Nico's ear where Ashley had pinched it so hard that she made it black and blue in like 5 minutes.
I do recall that. An impressive feat.
Yes.
All right, so what are the wins and losses for the week?
Wins and losses for the week. I was trying to mess around. I wasn't getting good download speed with my with the Starlink and the router, so I tried to go through all that, and that was my down thing. It's not. I don't know what's going on with it. But I bought that little thing that's on it. They sent me a new router, but I couldn't. I'd have to have broken it apart to get the board out to put it into the thing on the Starlink. That wasn't going to work. I don't know what's wrong with it. That was kind of just a wasted.
And the win?
I don't know. Nothing exciting.
Okay.
Nothing.
Well, I guess that's good.
Nothing bad happened this week. We didn't lose power. We made it through the
snowstorm?
The snowstorm of the South. Ice. And surprisingly, nobody lost any power. Everybody was expecting we were going to lose power. But all of our trees got not taken down.
Oh.
In Helene. So I was trying to find that picture of that. I'll have to look later.
Okay.
And your wins and losses?
My loss is I still can't figure out the sourdough bread situation.
You did eat your last loaf of cinnamon bread, so you can make some more cinnamon bread and ship it.
I could do that. But I just made a ton of cookies the other day that Milo and I have made a severe dent in.
What kind of cookies?
And just chocolate chip, peanut butter chocolate chip, yep. And then, anyways, so the sourdough, the first day, I tried to bake a loaf on Sunday, and it looked really good. It's not a kit. It is literally just a starter.
What does that mean? What is a starter?
I'm so glad you asked. You get this dehydrated-looking flour, and
I mean, essentially it's like yeast?
Essentially.
Okay.
But just when you get it. Then when you start feeding it, so you get the starter, you pour it into like a mason jar, and then you pour hot water on it with flour, and then you stir it up, and you make it into like a pancake mix viscosity.
Okay.
And that's its main state, is that pancake mix texture. And you feed it, and you feed it, and you feed it, and the starter, when it's at like its peak state, is super bubbly, and is when the yeast is most, or when the sourdough is most active. And so then you put that into the bread, and
How much of that? All of it?
No. You take like a scoop of it. And the thing is,
I mean, you have like a gallon of this stuff?
I have like a big mason jar, like a 500 milliliter jar.
And so you just take a little bit out, and you still have some of this starter left over?
And then you feed the starter again. So you pour more flour in, you pour more hot water, and then you stir it up. And you keep feeding it and feeding it.
So in the store, in the Alaska book by James Mishler that I'm reading, he had this thing that they had this sourdough that had been, by the time this guy got it, was like 75 years old.
Yeah, no, you can have.
And he like they hiked, and he would like stick it in his shirt next to his body to keep it at a decent temperature while they were out moving from Dawson to Nome.
Yeah, there's I forget what it's called, but it's like, I want to say like ancestral or historic or something like that. But you can buy like really, I don't know if that makes it like better or worse or what have you.
It's
but
different strains, right? I mean, every one of those has a different flavor.
Yeah. So it's been a process. It has been not easy because it's an all-day affair. Like, you feed it the night before, and then you mix all the ingredients at like 6 a.m. You let it rise, you pull it apart, you fold it every 30 minutes for like 2 hours, and then you have to let it, like, what is it called? Ferment or something. And then that's like a 4 to 6 hour process. And then you have to put it in the refrigerator for an hour, and then you score it, take it out, put it in a Dutch oven. Put it in the oven for just like an hour, and that's it. But it's an all-day affair. Like, and it's not something that's laissez-faire, hands off. Like, you have to be stretching that dough out. So the problem that was this week, I didn't stretch it enough tall, so now it's just a flat loaf. So it's good, but it's not.
Should have
the
made pancakes
desired.
out of it. Sourdough pancakes.
You could make you can make sourdough pretty much anything, which has been interesting to learn. But that was my loss for the week. I guess it's not really that major of a loss, but it is really hard to make sourdough. My win for the week is definitely using AI to edit the podcast. That saved me so much time, and it sounded so much better.
And I told you to do it, and you poo-pooed it.
And you have been poo-pooing it all day today, so I don't want to hear it. Anyway,
So
that's all I-
did you do any editing? Or does
Not
it
really. I edited the beginning where it was like super awkward, where you're like, does this lighting look good?
Oh. And then we also didn't introduce ourselves again this time. We just start yapping. We need to have some sort of a script running over in the corner. Can you have a script on the corner here?
You can add text.
Mine actually says 94% uploading. Is this going to go faster now that I'm putting my face in there?
Maybe.
So this is what we should be doing in the future?
I think so.
Okay. I need to get a mic.
Yep. That's all I've got for today.
Okay.
All right.
What are we doing for next week?
This is where you do the sign off.
Okay, goodbye. Stay out of trouble.
Thanks for watching.
Stay out of trouble.
Okay.